God, if anyone ever uses the excuse, it's just a game, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose, like, are you kidding me? You're so stupid. And anyone that ever uses the excuse it's just a game is a horrible human being and is lazy. You're a lazy human being.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Or we just have different sets of priorities and, have other things to worry about other than just the game. I honestly kind of hate that mentality. Oh, if you're lazy if you say it's just a game. Except for, ultimately, that's all it ever really is going to be, is just a game, isn't it? Like, no one outside of any games community is really going to care about, like, how well any one given person does. Like, nobody that doesn't play Overwatch is going to care about, like, oh, I got to this rank in Overwatch. Nobody that doesn't play Overwatch is going to care. You can apply that to any game, like Valorant. Oh, I'm top level in Valorant. Anybody that doesn't play Valorant isn't going to care. Same thing with Counter-Strike or Call of Duty or what have you. Like, I honestly don't really get why people seem to care so much about this kind of thing. Like, games are designed to be fun. Like, it's supposed to be entertainment. They're not necessarily supposed to be, a wannabe, like, competition. Like, now obviously there are some games, like Overwatch or Valorant or something else, that are designed to be more competitive, but there are always going to be people like myself that are not going to care about how competitive the game is supposed to be and are just going to play it. Like, especially for, like, I'm going to be using Overwatch as the example because it's the one game that I actually, like, the one competitive game that I actually have, like, any sort of decent amount of time invested. At time of recording, I've got about 1,200 hours on the game. Now, granted, that's, since about fall of, like, 2016, so it's over the course of quite a few years, but still, and I'm by no means good at this game. Like, as of right now, my highest rank for Overwatch is Gold 2, which is tank, and then back before they reworked the rank system, I peaked at about 2,800 SR Platinum. Like, I am not good at this game, and I'm sure there's going to be some people who are like, oh, but you could be. Yeah, except for I don't have the necessary time to invest in that. I have to do... I have to go to work. I have to make sure that I have a roof over my head and food in my stomach and bills are all paid and this, that, and the other. Like, I have a lot of other things that I need to take care of. I can't devote 100% of my time to a game that, isn't always fun. Like, and, just because, and I know there's going to be some people like, oh, it's only not fun for you when you're losing. Like, you're one of those people that cares about that. No, I don't care about my win rate. I can be on a complete loss streak, but still having the time of my life, having fun, just because I'm screwing around doing dumb stuff. Or, like, lately, I've been trying to play a bunch of new characters that I normally wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Because, like, normally before, I pretty much exclusively played either Hanzo, Junkrat, or Moira. And now I'm actually trying to, like, branch out and, like, play other characters that I normally wouldn't play, or some characters that I've literally never touched. But then I get people harping at me, oh my god, you're such a noob, you're so bad, uninstall, go commit game over IRL, you're so bad. And it's just like, first of all, how do you expect me to be able to learn how to play any given character if I'm unable to actually play the character? Like, if you want to get experience at something, you have to actually do the thing. Like, you can't just, like, watch a couple YouTube guys and just magically, improve to such an extent that, it's, like, immediately noticeable. Like, sure, you might get a little bit, but you're not gonna go from, like, backyard baseball to playing in the MLB just because you watched a fucking YouTube guide, And I just don't understand why people, like, seem to care so much about this. Now, in a ranked setting, like in ranked game modes, I can kind of understand why some of these people might care so much, because of course they want to make their rank number, picture, whatever have you, go up so that they can go up higher, so that they can, in theory, potentially try to get that esports contract. Although if I'm honest, with a lot of the esports stuff, it just feels like a really bad, like, get-rich-quick type of scheme that, like, you might get in your mailbox, like your grandma and grandpa might get in your mailbox. Like, the odds of actually going pro are so small, and so few people are actually going to pull it off. I genuinely don't understand what's going through some of these people's heads that seem to think that they're just going to walk in and, you know, be handed a multi-million-dollar contract just because they're good at a game. And the other thing too is that, especially when you're in my lobby, based on just the laws of skill-based matchmaking, the fact you're even in a lobby with me already means that you are not any better at the game than me. In fact, I would probably say you're not good at the game, because I'm not. And I hate to break it to some of these people, but you're not going to have, you know, talent scouts in, you know, gold or plat lobbies. Like, they're not going to be looking for the next big esports guy in, you know, anything other than, like, the top rank. And even then, I'm sure they probably get inundated with people sending them emails being like, oh, I'm a lot better at this game than the rank shows. Please pick me up. Like, dude, just leave them alone. They have jobs to do too. Like, at the end of the day, obviously, like, it is up to you. Like, you're free to play the game how you want. If you want to be one of those tryhards that's, you know, playing every single match like it's, you know, the world championship and there's, you know, $100 million on the line, that's entirely up to you. But when people like me, or just anybody in general, get annoyed by it and call you out on it, like, you don't get to bitch. Because you're the ones that are being, you know, annoying as hell. You're the ones that nobody else really wants to deal with. So the fact that you're getting upset at me, at people like me, just because we don't want to deal with people like you, like, I fail to see the logic here. Like, at the end of the day, you're the only one that really cares that much. So why are you freaking out just because I don't care as much? Like, we don't all need to be the same NPC that has the same, you know, single personality trait as you. Like, we're allowed to have other interests and, you know, be able to, like, just do other things. Like, even that's the other thing. Like, even if you do go pro, like, do you really want to commit yourself to pretty much only being able to play one game for the rest of your life? Like, name me any esports pro player that, like, is also able to play other games without, like, having their chat be like, oh, go play the game you're pro at. Like, I would honestly hate to be a pro player in that respect, because if they want to play anything other than whatever they're pro at, their viewership numbers are going to tank to the point where it's just not worth it for them. Like, that seems stupid to me. Why should I have to, you know, constantly, you know, why should I have to try hard in something that I don't ultimately care about in the long run? Like, it's just a game. You know, even the little rank that shows up on my screen, it's just a little PNG icon that no one outside of the game's community is going to care about or notice. So why should I have to, you know, why should I have to bend the knee to do something that I don't necessarily want to do just because you cry louder? Like, and the other thing too, like, just because I'm not necessarily good at a game doesn't mean that I can't have fun. Like, skill is not a prerequisite to fun, or at least it shouldn't be. If skill is a prerequisite to fun for that game, I don't want to play. I should be able to just pick up any given game, you know, open the game, and then just hit play game in the main menu and just go. I should be able to just turn my brain off and just have fun. I shouldn't have to constantly worry about, like, what's meta and what isn't meta and whether or not I should be able to play this, or, you know, how long it's going to take me to learn that. Like, I should be able to just play. Why does everything have to be so, like, formulaic, for the lack of a better word? Like, why is games in general, why is it something that I should have to care way more about than I ever would normally, just because other people want to take it way too seriously? Like, again, I can kind of understand it in a ranked setting, but in a non-ranked setting, like, what do you care? I'm just trying to play the game, or trying to learn how to do, you know, learn new characters, learn new mechanics. You know, I'm just trying to play. Like, Why do you care so much about whether or not I'm good at the game? Focus on yourself, buddy. Like, seriously. I'm more worried about me than I will ever worry about you, so why do you give a shit about my skill level or lack thereof in something that ultimately isn't going to matter to anyone that doesn't already play the game? Like, if anything, that's actually not good in the long run, because that's going to tell people who don't play the game is that the community is awful, which, I mean, let's be honest, the community is the worst part in any game out there, but it doesn't exactly set up a very, warm, inviting atmosphere for anybody who might be interested in picking the game up. I mean, I know I would avoid the crap out of a game that has, a community like that. Hell, I already do. That's why there's so many games out there I won't touch with a 10-foot pole, just because I don't want to have to deal with people like that more than I already do. I don't know. I know this rant wasn't really all that cohesive or coherent or anything. I kind of wanted to just rant for a little bit, because I've been really thinking about this for a bit lately. So I don't really have a better way to end this. So, yeah, have a good rest of y'all's morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is for you, and I'll see you later. Maybe the next video will actually be something a little more professional and coherent, and yeah, bye.